and welcome to the hearing. I'm John.
And from Chicago's North Side, I'm Scotto.
And before we get to this week's album, just want to make one announcement. I have had enough issues with archive.org, and from now on, all of our episodes will only be uploaded to YouTube, and that YouTube video in quotes because it's going to be a still image, will be embedded on our blog, johnscotto.wordpress.com. You can find it there, or you can sub the YouTube channel, which I think if you use YouTube at all would be the better option. Um, that link to the YouTube channel will be on our socials on Blue Sky and Facebook by the time this episode goes out. We won't be on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anything like that anymore because it's just going to be a video. It's just going to make life easier it's going to make life easier for me because I don't have to fight with fucking archive anymore. Anyway, on to this week's album, which is from 1980, Argybargy by Squeeze. This is our tribute to the late, great Gilson Lavis, their longtime drummer. Squeeze are an English rock band formed in 1974 by guitarists and vocalists Glenn Tilbrook and Chris Difford that launched the careers of their former keyboardists Jules Holland and Paul Carrick, and who are best known for their songs Tempted, Black Coffee in Bed, and Hourglass, none of which appear on Argybargy. I love that gag. Which is their third studio album, and the last that they would record with Jules Holland until '85's Kazi Van Tutti Frutti, great name. Argybargy was released in February 1980 on A&M Records, produced by John Wood and Squeeze, and features Glenn Tilbrook on vocals, lead guitar, and keyboards, Chris Difford on vocals and rhythm guitar, Jules Holland on vocals and keyboards, John Bentley on bass, and Gilson Lavis on drums. Reminder, I don't edit any songs into our reviews for copyright reasons, but on our blog at johnscotto.wordpress.com, you'll find links to Argybargy on Spotify and YouTube, so you can follow along if you'd like. Track 1, Pulling Muscles from the Shell. Love that cold start.
Yeah, just how this jumps out from the gate, you know?
Yeah. Great melodic bass in the verse. John Bentley is really the star of this album for me. The bass
Oh,
player.
yeah.
Nice groove, nice snappy snare sound. I love that octave down harmony from Chris Difford in the chorus. Great organ sound in the chorus. Great guitar solos. Glenn Tilbrook is wildly underrated as a guitar player. I love every one of his solos that I've heard.
I love his playing, but this song, it's not a great solo, really.
I just love every solo he takes.
I mean, it's kind of like Weird Al's drum solo, where it's just like the one note hit over
Well,
and
no,
over
before
again.
that.
Oh, okay.
Before the bit before the echoing one note. I like the echoing one note because of the way it goes from center to right. But the solo before that I'm talking about mostly. That's what I'm complimenting. And a great piano solo.
But yeah, this one has wonderful bass line. The chorus is like this relief from the tension of the verses, which
Mm-hmm.
is kind of strange. And then with that solo, you get after the guitar solo,
Yeah.
you get this strange piano solo that's really unexpectedly jazzy.
Yeah. And that's what Jules Holland does. He's a
Yeah,
jazz and
he
blues guy.
does. He is always like he's the weird left turn
Yeah.
throughout this whole thing.
Track 2, Another Nail in My Heart. Great opening riff. Love the vocal melody. Love all of the organ on this song. Great groove. Of course, another great guitar solo. I'm going to shout out every guitar solo that Tilbrook takes.
Really, same with the last track. The harmonies
Yeah.
are the real hook, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That Difford and Tilbrook, you know, their voices coming together, uh, just being so different.
Yeah.
And of course, this one definitely. I would never recommend picking this for a karaoke song because what the fuck?
I have tried to sing this one. You really
And
got to have good breath control. It is
the
fast.
the drumming is damn tight too.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
I haven't really shouted out Lavis much in my notes, but it's because he really held back most of the time. He was very for the song. He rarely showed off, but when he did, and I will mention those spots.
I mean, he wasn't even showing off, but he was just so tight and
Yeah.
just made it look easy and casual. But it is, again, it's the harmonies
Yeah.
here.
Mm-hmm.
And just, they make such an earworm with this one. Probably the biggest earworm on this album, if you think about it.
Track 3, Separate Beds. Love those disco-ish drums in the beginning. Great syncopation in the verse riff. Love the melodic bass. Great timing change going into the pre-chorus. Love that organ sound. Great synth in the chorus. Once again, we get that great octave harmony. Love the big synth percussion in the chorus. Love the line, "There was time to pass, but not to spend."
And yeah, the lyrics, uh, I mean, he really
Mm-hmm.
knows how to paint a picture
Yeah.
and tell a story too, much of course later. Um, yeah, I love the bass too on this one. You get this Joe Jackson feel in the verse part,
Yeah.
and then that whole "mother didn't like me" section really gets your attention. And Lavis puts this over the top percussion
Well, it's a
to
synth.
go along with it.
I don't know if it's Lavis or Jules, but because it is a synth drum, synth percussion.
Okay. I would assumed it was Lavis,
I,
but
I,
I
I
mean,
would guess if it's percussion, it's probably Lavis.
yeah.
This seems a little early for synth drums, but it's probably had the drummer do it. However, it was you know performed. Um,
Yeah, I don't know if they were doing synth drums yet. I mean, I know they were probably programming drum
mhm. Yeah,
machine
yeah,
patterns, of course,
mhm.
but because this is 80
Yeah.
and that was like a very new thing then.
Right. Um, love that ending riff with the slightly distorted guitar. Great synth line on the right, and love that little high bass part, a little high sting. Um, Track 4, Misadventure. Great insistent opening. Great melodic bass in the intro. Great groove. Love all of the keyboards on this one.
They're very of their time, but I love it too.
This is where Lavis shows off those fast drum fills before the break in the bridge. Um, Love the melodic percussion at the end. Great distorted bass tone there, and a great tone on the ending guitar solo.
Oh my God, that guitar at the end. I mean, I could have lived without the bass. I put in quotes the bass solo, but yeah, that guitar at the end is so brief, but just so like, whoa, okay. And again, the chorus is just such a mouthful. How the
Mm-hmm.
fuck does he do it?
You take a breath and you just go. Take a nice deep breath and go.
I mean, I prefer Difford's voice
Uh,
to Tilbrook's.
Interesting.
I mean, Tilbrook, of course, is just a freak, with his voice,
Yeah.
but different in that attitude and
Yeah.
just,
Right.
like cool for cats, and of course, some of the ones we're gonna get to in a bit.
Mm-hmm. The next one, he has a bit in the second verse, and then yeah, he gets an entire song later.
Yeah,
Track 5, I think I'm Go Go. Like the opening keyboard part. Great verse melody, nice groove. Like that little synth solo after the first chorus. Great drum part in verse 2. Nice to hear Difford sing the second verse.
yeah.
And some great synth at the end.
It's such an unusual song. I mean, this is
Mm-hmm.
kind of the only thing passing for a ballad on this album, and it's so weird. Like you kind of think of them as straight lace,
Mm-hmm.
from like their later work,
Right.
but yeah, there were definitely some prog influences, and this is where they come out.
Well, they were very early new wave.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said this. Prog is just, or
Mm-hmm.
new wave is just prog meets punk,
Right.
or a condensed version of
Mm-hmm.
prog. And the ending is definitely like, you know, early Genesis, Can Utility, and the Coastliners.
Interesting. And should mention all of the songs except for one were written by Difford and Tilbrook.
Yeah,
Difford writes the lyrics, Tilbrook writes the music. Um, Track 6, If I Didn't Love You. This is my pick for favorite. Love that
yeah,
opening guitar part. Yours too?
it's kind of a coward's way out, I know, but holy fuck,
There
it's
were
just
three
too good a
singles that
song.
you hear on the radio all the time. Yeah, I had to pick one of them because it's just such a great song. Uh,
Could be my favorite new wave song of all time,
so
too.
this is your pick for favorite, just to be clear.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Great groove, great opening bass and synth. Love the harmonized lead vocal, that octave harmony through the entire song, except I think Tilbrook has one line that's solo. Um, love how the bass jumps octaves in the chorus. Love all the repeated if I, like 19 times. Love that that opening arpeggio comes back to kind of subvert the mood, and then we get this great slide solo, and then the if I didn't love you at the end. Love that.
It's soulful and robotic at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Think about that. How do you do those two things at the same time? And that guitar solo starts out normal and then gets delightfully weird.
Yeah.
You forget you're listening to a pop song when you're in it, but it just takes you on this journey. So yeah, I couldn't have picked something else as favorite on this. It had to be this. One thing I was thinking was the track listing. Now,
Oh, before you get into that, just one more note about the song.
oh sure.
If I didn't love you, I'd hate you has to be the most relatable song, relatable line ever in a pop song.
And then, of course, there's that too. There's that aspect because most pop songs, about the priority of love and
Uh,
the on a pedestal thing, and this is just fuck you. But but the track listings are different. Like the UK version has this in the middle of the second side. Um, the US version, this began the second side. I think they're both wrong though.
okay.
This song should have finished the album because think about it.
Yeah.
It should have just ended with that. If I
I did
love
love you,
you,
love you,
love you,
love you.
love you.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Like, like how could I? And while thinking about this, like, how could I have even been the first person to have thought this? It just seems like an obvious way to end this album. And then what they do end the album with should have began the first side.
Look, I'm scrolling down to the last song. Yeah. Yeah. On to track 7, Farfisa Beat. Farfisa is a brand of electronic organ, which of course
I
is
had to
used
look
on the
that up.
song.
Yeah. So I imagine Jules is playing that on the. It's not in the credits, but it should have been.
They were very popular in the 60s. Um,
Yeah.
Great groove. Love that muted guitar part. Great organ sound, of course. Great harmonies in the chorus. This is one of two or three that to me feel very Elvis Costello.
Oh yeah, yeah. There. I mean, like another nail in my heart is like Elvis Costello meets XTC.
Ha! Yeah. But like I said, they were very early new wave. They were kind of the bridge between Elvis and Joe Jackson and those guys, the
Yeah.
angry young men, and proper new wave.
I mean, this one. That's true. And this one, I mean, it's pretty repetitive, but it's catchy.
Yeah.
They kind of take rockabilly, which is kind of early in the game for it. Usually, I think if I'm remembering right, rockabilly didn't really blow up until like 81,
The
82.
the rockabilly revival, you mean?
Yeah. Well, of course, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just to
Yeah,
clarify.
right. I do not think rockabilly started in the 80s.
Uh,
The Stray Cats didn't invent the
right, right.
thing. The revival, of
Uh,
course.
Track 8, Here Comes That Feeling. Great opening organ. Love that melodic bass. Love the spoken intro. This is Difford's vocal. Nice busy drums. Love the keyboard part in the chorus. Close second favorite for me.
Was that a Mellotron in the beginning? I mean, it sounded
Possibly.
like a Mellotron, and it's not you know, I think there was one it's not the first time I heard that sound
Uh,
either. It was in the end of Misadventure before the guitar solo. But another nice, weird, moody piece.
mhm.
I'm not sure if it's really a complete song or just a sketch, but I think the drums really sell this one.
Yeah. Track 9, Vicky Verky. Great fast opening, drum roll. Great up tempo groove. Love that rockabilly style guitar riff.
To quote the great Henry Rollins, I nearly broke my damn neck getting to the lyrics when I caught the "she was only 14"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
line. Like, wait, what are we into here?
Good verse melody. It just gets a bit repetitive. It needs a chorus, or it just needs to get to the bridge faster. At least there was a bridge.
I mean, this is what Tilbrook does. I mean, this is the story song,
Yeah, yeah.
and I mean, relief to know the dude was a kid as well. Forstall, I had to look that up. That's a juvenile hall.
Uh-huh,
That's where he got sent to.
uh-huh.
So, you know, it's a lot like Up the Junction, you know,
Mhm.
only it's with kids,
Right.
which is kind of weird. But
Uh-huh.
star-crossed doomed lovers, Romeo and Juliet were
Mhm.
in the same age.
Yeah.
So,
And he's got a great keyboard solo.
yeah, Jules, just adds this dimension to
Hmm.
them, and I mean, replacing with Paul Carrack and Elvis Costello is one thing, but
Paul
I
Carrick's a great singer,
yes,
and certainly respectable keyboardist, but he's not Jules Holland.
right, right. I mean, he's a much better singer than he is a keyboard
Yeah.
player, and they almost kept him on the bench for the album as a singer.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Elvis Costello, that was
Right.
like, I think he should try a version with him singing it.
Track 10, Wrong Side of the Moon. This is the only one not written by Difford and Telbrook. It was written by Jules Holland and Chris Difford. Um, Great opening piano part, great groove. This is another one that came very close to favorite. Love the vocal melody. Holland has this great bluesy voice. He should have sung more. Um, Love that falsetto voice in the chorus. Great guitar solo, great tone, uh, and nice subtle quick drum rolls in the outro.
It's kind of ridiculous until he gets that guitar solo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a very Ringo Starr
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah.
They were taking that whole being the new Beatles thing seriously here, where they had these different things going on, and then with the stories, and then of course, let's let Ringo come out and sing something goofy. And you got to think Wrong Side of the Moon was a dig at Floyd.
Right. And finally, track 11, There at the Top. Great opening guitar riff, great groove. Love the organ sound. Love the lead guitar sound. Another one that to me sounds a lot like Elvis Costello.
Very 60s.
Yeah, I love how the guitar and the organ echo each other in the chorus. Great organ solo, another great guitar solo.
I mean, at first I thought it was a very Motown kind of song,
Mm,
but like the guitar and keyboard solo are like a very, Janis Joplin,
yeah.
Argent,
Mm,
it came to mind. That bass is really like the holding company, you know.
yeah, fair point.
But yeah, I'd swap this with I Didn't Love You,
Mm,
or I mean, it might make more sense if Farfisa started the
yeah,
second side
that's
and this
that's a
ended it.
yeah,
It's kind of like the two are kind of bookends for the side.
right,
But how do you resist ending it with If I Didn't Love You,
right.
the whole album?
Uh, so do you recommend it?
Oh, definitely. You know what? Squeeze has been a lot like Credence, where I thought I really knew a lot of their work,
Mm,
but I was just kind of a greatest hits, kind of
uh,
thing. And I need to listen to more of their individual albums.
yeah, I need to dive in more because this is honestly the only album I know well. I discovered this one a couple of years ago and just fell in love with it.
Honestly, I listen to Cradle to the Grave a lot.
Mm,
That's probably one of the albums of theirs, and that's only from like 10 years ago
uh,
or so.
wow. I really kind of lost track of them after I'm blanking on the name, the one with Hourglass. Oh,
Babylon and On.
Babylon On. I kind of lost track of them after that. I know they're still going with Difford and Telbrook, but
And I think I lost track of them after Cradle to Grave. I didn't had no idea they'd put out an album um, a few like in 17, and I think they've got one coming out next year.
uh but it's Difford Telbrook and a bunch of session guys. It might as well just go back to calling it Difford and Telbrook.
I thought Jules joined them again.
Did he? I thought he was busy with the TV show. Um, and Gilson retired years and years ago.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's it for Argybargy. Until next time, when we'll be reviewing A Night at the Opera by Queen
and we'll be doing our year-end stuff.
and doing our year-end list, our best of
Yep.
lists, because we don't do worst lists on here because we pick all the albums, and we pick stuff we like.
I should have talked about this off air, but Spotify Unwrapped came out.
I left Spotify as a
Yeah.
consumer. stopped paying for them in July, early July. Apparently, I don't get a wrapped.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't get it one. Oh, I got my artist wrapped, but not my listener wrapped.
Hmm.
I'm hoping I get something similar from YouTube Music. I don't know. So, someone on Threads had said they got theirs already, so I don't know. I've
Okay.
only been there for like 5 months, so I don't know what's gonna happen. I can probably name my top 5 or 10 artists of the year. Easily
Yeah, I
top
didn't
five.
really have any. I had no surprises myself,
Uh-huh.
honestly.
Until then, of course, always remember, never forget, wherever you go in life,
There
there
you
you
are.
are.